the person who holds the highest office in this land looks just like me. And so therefore one day, that means that I could aspire to even higher heights.
Nurses in Canada make pretty good amount of money, right? And so how was the financial impact for you when you moved down to Ghana?
Prior to his death, he said to my dad, Emmanuel, we've done this life thing all wrong. If I don't do it now, I may never ever do it. I may never have the chance to do it. I'm taking life for granted. So I wanted to give my children the opportunity to have a full immersion into the culture.
I think for me, I want them to know Ghana as home. And that's just it.
Moving house is one of the most stressful experiences
Absolutely.
in the world.
Yeah.
But moving internationally and with 2 children by yourself.
Yeah.
We don't speak English at home.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like that's the rule after school. My son one time was speaking English in the car and I'm like, Nana Kuju, I was like, no, you can't brofu. He's like, Mommy, but we are in the car.
Like, in the mornings, my daughter would be crying. She doesn't want to go. Aww. And as a mother, your heart breaks when your child or your children are not happy. You know, then so when I was growing up in the UK, it was not cool to be African.
No.
Hello guys, my name is Cassandra and I'm here to invite each and every one of you guys to the Diaspora Transition Network. It's a network for everyone in the diaspora to join. Any issues you have with GRA, Ghana's Registrar's Office, Lands Commission, they are here to help, support, and also guide you through it all. So click the link and sign up and join today.
It's another episode of the Diaspora Transition Conversation, and for me, I want to know the reasons why these 2 amazing women decided to move to Ghana. One is from Canada, Perpetua, and the other one is from the UK. Of course, I have to big up the UK because, you know, the UK peeps. NAOMI OSEI, mother of 2, left the UK. She's a management trainer and coach, right? Consultant, that's the one. And Perpetua is a nurse, but is not doing nursing in Ghana. And that's what happens, you know. Sometimes you may come to Ghana with a particular profession, but you end up doing something totally different. she's a foodian, which she mentioned already. It wasn't me, it's in her bio. She said I'm a foodian. But she's a food blogger and she's a cook, right? So you cook for families, individuals, and deliver the food to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Perpetua, nice to see you.
Nice
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Nice.
7 years.
Yep.
You've managed.
I have survived.
You survived. I love that. I think she deserves a round of applause.
Thank you, thank you.
So how was your transition 7 years ago? What made you pack your bags and come to Ghana?
Nothing too exciting, actually.
Okay.
My parents convinced me to move back.
Okay.
So I came back as a trial, or at least that's what I said. I said I was gonna come for 6 months, try it out. So I bought a return ticket, even though I was moving.
Okay.
And 7 years later, I'm still here, so clearly something worked.
Wow. But I mean, what made your family, because usually it's not parents telling you to go to Ghana. That's
So my parents are here.
okay, they're based here.
Right.
Okay.
And my dad is of the belief that no matter what, you need to come back. So he
Wow.
went to school in the UK,
Okay.
came back, and he thinks that that's the best route. He's like, you can leave to go to school, but make sure you come back. And at the time, single, no kids, he's like, that's the best time. So that you're the only one making that decision to come back. You don't have to deal with anyone else saying no or trying to balance it out. So he's like, if you're gonna do it, that's the time to do it. 6 months trial, 7 years later.
And you
still
did it.
Yep.
So you were a nurse
Yes.
in Canada.
Yes.
And nurses in Canada make pretty good amount of money,
Yeah.
right? And so how was the financial impact for you when you moved down to Ghana?
So a few months before I moved permanently, I actually came back, came for a job interview, got the job before I came back. So I came in February and moved in April. So I came to a job.
Oh, okay.
So
what job was that?
I worked at the National Health Insurance Authority at the head office
Wow.
for 3 years when I moved back.
Okay.
So I came into having, like I started work in May after moving in April. So I came knowing that I had a source of income.
Okay.
And I came, lived at home. So didn't have to really pay for much. So my transition in terms of the financial aspect, I think it was a lot easier.
Okay.
Because things were kind of set in place before I actually came.
Okay. And how did you get the job at the head office of the NHIS?
Had to apply,
Okay.
got an interview. So I actually had to come to Ghana within a week
Wow.
of getting an interview date.
Okay.
So I actually lied at work to take time off to come for the
your
interview.
nursing.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
came down just for a week and then went back.
Okay. Because I'm asking you that question because a lot of diasporans say that it's hard for them to get a job. They feel like they have to start their own business.
You need
So-
to know somebody
Okay.
to try and get your foot in the door.
Okay.
That's the truth.
So that's why I wanted to ask you. So you got a link.
Yes.
Somebody told you that
Yes.
there's a job
Yes.
opportunity
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Apply.
Yes.
And do you
Go.
think that they influenced it at all by any chance, or do you think
In
that?
all honesty, yes.
Okay.
I don't think that it would have been just easy for me to walk in and be like, can I get a job or can I think there was a bit of influence. That's
Okay.
just the honest answer.
Okay. No, thank you for being honest. And the pay, I mean, compared to,
You can't compare it.
okay, okay, you can't compare it.
No.
So do you think that diasporans who are coming back need to have an open mind about the pay structure?
Beyond an open
Okay.
mind, because here's the thing. I think what ends up happening is as soon as you come in and you hear a salary, let's say you hear 1,000 Ghana cedis, for me the default was how much is that in Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
And I laughed. I'm like, no, I can make that in a shift. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
You want me to take that for a month? But then here's the thing, you start to look at the expenses here and compare it there, and it's a little less, right? So it's like, okay, you can actually make it on the salary, like you're not going to starve to death. Whereas if I calculate it in dollars, I'm like, I'll be out of money in 2 days.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I think you definitely need to have an open mind and take a look at your expenses here and compare it to what you're going to earn as opposed to doing what I did and comparing it to
I think a lot of people compare, not just you. Everybody's comparing, so that's just fine. And then So you did that for how long at the head office?
About 3 years.
Oh, you did well.
Yeah.
And how was that in a corporate environment?
It took a lot of adjusting.
Okay.
One of my managers had also returned from the UK. I think that was really helpful.
Okay.
So when I was frustrated, I think she could see my frustration and she'd kind of be like, it's okay. You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
So after a few months, I had gotten used to, because here's the thing, for me, I wasn't used to corporate work at all.
Yes, true.
I was used to get your scrubs on
Yeah.
and head into the hospital. So it was going to be an adjustment regardless. But luckily, the department I was in was still health related. I was
Okay.
doing audit.
Okay.
So that part of the transition was a little bit easier because it was stuff that I was already used to doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the corporate environment, working with other Ghanaians, how was that? How did you see them compared to the way you worked?
So if there's one positive I can say about the National Health Insurance, it's really structured. So it's not laid back. You actually work.
Wow.
So you don't get the opportunity to
Go on
be so
Facebook.
no. No, you don't. Like, I mean, you can, but there's work to be done and you're expected to do it. So in terms of the actual work ethic, it was very similar to what I was used to, which was surprising because a lot of people are like, no, Ghana, dear.
Yeah.
But no, you
fantastic.
work.
Wow.
So in terms of that, it was quite similar to what I was used to.
Okay. So what made you move on, and what did you move on to?
There wasn't much of a reason to moving on. It was just, I felt that at that point in my life, it was time to move on.
Okay.
There was a lot of traveling from my department, and unfortunately my husband's work travels as well.
So you found a husband here because you said you were single when you were coming. I heard that because I've been listening to what you've been saying.
So I found a husband.
Okay.
I found a boyfriend in transit, if that makes sense. So when I was coming for the interview, one of my cousins in the US said, you said you're moving to Ghana. I have a husband for you.
Hey.
Yeah. It was that simple. And about a year and a half later, he went from boyfriend to
husband.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you have children?
I have 2 kids, yes.
2 kids as well. Same as Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because you tried to miss that bit out during the transition. But how was hubby's time transitioning to Ghana as well?
No, so he lived here.
He lived here.
So it was just my cousin living there. He had gone for work.
Okay.
And they were having a conversation, and he called me and said, I have a husband for you.
Wow.
Like, okay.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Our first date was actually on my way back to Canada after the interview. So I checked in, went out on a date with him, went back to the airport and left.
And that was it. Oh, that's amazing. I love these type of stories. I love it. Okay. So you left NHIS and then did what? What happened next?
Had another kid. So stayed home for a year with him and then started helping out. Like, my husband has small business.
So you had a child already during that time?
Yes.
So you did it quite fast. You got married and
had a kid.
Had a child.
Yep.
Okay.
So that was the major reason. There's a lot of traveling on both sides. So it was going to be a lot of juggling between the two of us. I mean, my mom is here, my in-laws are amazing. So they would take her, but I felt like I want to do it. Like, I want to be the one raising my daughter. So then took the time, had my son, and then in the wake of the pandemic, out of boredom, started a YouTube channel.
Wow.
And that became, like, I call it my full-time side hustle because it's full-time work. And then the meal prep service as well. So those are the 2 major things that I'm doing right now in terms of financial stuff.
Okay, so were you always a cook? Did you always love food?
I like to cook. I hate doing dishes, but I love to cook.
Okay.
I wasn't a cook, but I call myself a home cook because I have no formal training.
Wow.
So in university, it was, I would cook, my roommates would pay for the groceries, and they would do the dishes, and I
That's a good one.
I'd make all the food, they'd do the dishes, they'd pay for it.
What?
Eventually, every once in a while, you'd have an international student be like, can I have stew? can I have shito? So that like randomly became something I would do. But when I moved here, I didn't do anything food related until 2020.
Until 2020, during the pandemic.
Right.
Okay. So you have prep meals. So you have a service where you cook for families and individuals.
Yeah. So there are larger portions. Usually serve like 6 to 8. So portions of soups, stews.
Wow.
People still order things off menu, but you know.
You still do it.
Yeah. And then I deliver it on Fridays.
Okay.
So mostly to corporate clients, they take it home. So you're kind of set for the week.
Wow.
So
and did you start off with family and friends? Like, how did you get the word out? Or you using your YouTube and your social media?
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
A lot of times I would post pictures on Instagram and I'd get a message, would you make that for me?
Wow.
And I'm like, no. But eventually I realized, you know what? This
There's a market
could actually,
for it.
like I would jokingly say no, but after a little bit of time, I'm like, you know what? This could be something. And it's great. It's amazing.
Wow. And do you have recurrent customers you've retained?
Yeah. So that's actually where a bulk of the income comes from. Like I know there's certain people, like every 2 weeks, I know I will get orders from these people.
I need to taste your food because maybe you're on my list too.
I owe you.
Because me, I ain't got time to be in the kitchen.
See, you're my target market.
Yeah, like I'm for you. Literally, there's only one time that I had to go to Nana McBrown's show and do my body and contemporary.
I saw that, and she kicked you off.
Yeah, she kicked me off because I was enjoying my own food. Basically, we'll come back to you, Petra. Now over to Naomi, my UK girl. So where were you? Where were you in the UK?
I was in Buckinghamshire.
Oh my God, I went to Buckinghamshire University.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah.
Wow. All right. So I used to live probably about
Wickham?
10 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in Wickham.
Oh.
I moved from there just before we came to Ghana.
Okay.
So I was probably about 10 minutes from that university.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your journey. So as a single mother who's moved to Ghana with 2 kids, moving with children is difficult.
Oh, my days.
So tell us, a bit about your work, your background, and what made you move.
Okay, so professionally, I'm a management consultant, corporate trainer, and coach. So I spent a lot of my time in the UK working with corporate clients, training them, leadership, management, and a range of other things. And I would also do coaching for private clients, people who are looking to, I guess, bridge that gap between where they are now and where they ultimately want to be. A lot of the time focusing on small business owners and entrepreneurs. I've been fully remote for, since 2019.
Oh, wow.
I've been fully remote since 2019. I think for many years, I've always wanted to experience living abroad.
Okay.
Out of my siblings and I was the only one who had never left the UK permanently.
Really?
I was the only one. So I always wanted to do it, but would get too scared. And it was probably around 2015. My grandfather, for as long as I've known him, has always been coming back home.
Okay.
He's always coming back home. He's got his properties built and he's coming home. And literally ever since I've known him, that has been the story. 2015, he fell ill.
Okay.
And well, he actually fell ill a long time before that, but we didn't know.
Wow.
And I remember it was probably around January or so, 2015. I remember that, now there was a bit of a panic with his health. And
he was in Ghana at the time?
No. He was in the UK. He was in the UK, living in Ladbroke Grove. And I'll never forget, we sat down on his sofa one day and he said, Naomi, I think I'm ready to go now. Can you help me look for a flight? And I was like, oh, sure, Granddad, no problem. He was like, yeah, Auntie Gina will take me. I said, yeah, no problem. So we sat down, we're looking at flights. I said, Granddad, I'll come as well. He never made it. Oh. He never made it. He died the first week in February of 2015. And it was such a powerful lesson because prior to his death, he said to my dad, Emmanuel, we've done this life thing all wrong. We work so hard. We make these plans for the future, but there's always something seemingly more important while we delay and we put it off. And then it becomes too late. So that experience had a massive...
I've got it's very...
It had a massive impact on me, and I thought, something, that can't be my story. I don't believe that we have time to make all the mistakes ourselves. We can learn from other people's experiences.
Absolutely.
And so I just thought, you know something, Granddad always wanted to do this. He was so much happier. Whenever I would speak to him, if he was on holiday in Ghana, full of life, he's happy. When I speak to him at Labrador Grove, hello. So I decided that, you know something, if I don't do it now, I may never ever do it. I may never have the chance to do it. I'm taking life for granted. So it was July of 2021. I had enough of lockdown. The pandemic, I was fed up.
Wow.
Me locked at home with these children. It was too much.
Yes.
And so I made some moves. I did make some moves during the pandemic. I brought all my family together. I said to my dad, I'll do a deal. You put some tenants in your place. Let's all come back together. It will give me a hand with the children.
Wow.
And eventually they agreed.
Wow.
And so we were all living together. But then I just thought, what am I doing here? Like, no, why? Why am I putting myself through this? And I said to the children, what do you guys think? Do you not want to go and spend some time in Ghana? Like, would you like to move there? Whenever we come on holiday, they never understand why we have to leave.
Wow.
So they were like, yeah, let's do it. So I spoke to my partner and I said, I know, babes, we've spoken about, you know, later moving, but I think I want to go now. What do you think? And he thought it was a brilliant idea. Wow. So that was July. August, we were on the plane and I landed here August 23rd, 2021.
Wow. And that was it.
That was it. I had enough. Had enough because I just, you know, I know me.
So what did you have enough of? Like, what is it that really just was like, this is the last straw? Was it your what your granddad said to you that's kind of resonating in your brain, in your thoughts all the time? Or was it that every morning you're thinking, I don't want to put things in your mouth, but what was it for you?
So I think my granddad's words will always resonate with me. And it's the reason why I think maybe today people might think I'm a bit crazy because I will just do it. If I think of something, I'm going to do it because tomorrow is just not promised. Yeah. But I think it was really the pandemic, it was lockdown number one.
Lockdown number two.
And then I'm thinking, I do not trust. We're going to go through this again and I can't take it anymore. So that was the final straw. The final straw was, before I was terrified of leaving because how would I make money? How would I feed these children of mine? But then hold on, this is no longer a factor because I've been fully remote since 2019.
Yes.
So as long as I have an internet connection, Ghana for most of the year is on the same time zone as the UK.
Yeah.
So why not? So I figured if I'm going to do it, I better do it now before I change my mind and chicken out. Yeah. So the final straw was lockdown. Okay. And Mr. Boris Johnson, I did not trust. I thought, yes, we're going to go through this again. Boris. I'm not doing it.
Poor Boris. Boris, I'm so sorry. Okay. You're not to be trusted. But, you know, you had two choices though. Because your mum is Grenadian and your dad is Ghanaian.
Yes.
Why did you choose Ghana?
Dental wants to get me in trouble today. So what I will say is I love Grenada. Love Grenada. In fact, growing up, we holidayed more in Grenada than we did in Ghana. Okay. So I knew Grenada a lot better. I think my grandmother passed away in 2016, actually, in December of 2016. And so I think I actually haven't been back since, to be quite frank. Wow. I'm just realizing that I haven't been back to Grenada since she passed away. And so maybe that also had a part to do with why I don't really feel like, I want to be there, because every time I've gone there, my grand's there, but now nobody's not there. So it's a bit different. But I think Grenada is a great holiday destination. Like, I love being able to go to, they've got some of the most beautiful beaches in the entire world. But the pace is just not, it's not a good match for where I'm at in my life now and what I'm trying to do and what I'm building now. So also with Ghana, the idea of allowing my children to be able to learn the language was a huge pull. Okay. You know, I didn't have that language spoken at home because, again, my mom's from Grenada, dad's from Ghana. So I wanted to give my children the opportunity to have a full immersion into the culture and to be in an environment where they're seeing people doing incredible things and being able to identify, like, wow, one day this actually could be me. Yeah. So I chose Ghana because of I saw a difference in the level of opportunity, the pace, and also that extra blessing of the language, which again, in Grenada, they for the most part speak English.
Yes.
So
yes, you're right. Okay, so you've come to Ghana. How has it been? You're still a baby.
Yes, I'm brand new. I'm brand new to this still. But I'm absolutely loving it. I started a YouTube channel because of my children. They wanted to do it. I thought I have no time for this YouTube business, but I thought actually this could be a good idea to document our journey, and so that the children maybe one day when they're older can look back on it. So we started that to just capture everything. And so I'm very honest. I will talk about the times when everything's great. I'll talk about the times when I'm burnt out and I'm feeling stressed. And I think one of the mistakes that I made is in moving here, August, I didn't take a break. I hit the ground running. I went back, I got back to work as though nothing had happened. By November, I was done. I crashed and burned. I was so much so, I was burnt out completely.
Your work is online.
It is.
So why were you burnt out? Because
it's managing everything.
Okay.
So my dad built the house that we're living in.
Okay.
So of course, a brand new house, anything that could go wrong eventually will go wrong. So the money that I have spent, fixing the plumbing, fixing this, fixing that, making sure that the children are happy at school, making sure that these children are fed, making sure, just juggling everything.
I get it.
And that mental pressure, as well as ensuring that I'm keeping the money coming in without stopping to take a break, moving house is one of the most stressful experiences in the world.
Yeah.
But moving internationally and with 2 children by yourself, it was a lot. It was a lot. So I was done.
And also the fact that, you're having to commit to the time online with your coaching or training and trying to speak to the plumber who's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, or he's left.
Wow.
Tell us about those times.
Oh my. Oh my goodness. For the first 6 months or so, I've been here. It would be, delivering training to, senior managers, partners, directors at some of the largest firms in the UK, FTSE 100, FTSE 250 companies. Wow. So they're expecting a certain standard. So there have been times where I've got builders, they are banging. They should have been here hours ago. You have decided to come now when I'm working. I have gone through some things.
Oh my goodness. And has the internet cut off?
Now here's what I did a lot of preparation because I could not afford for that to happen. My work is online. I cannot afford for that to happen. So my sister was living here, and so I would send her, Leah, please go and get this or go and get that. We need to test this. So while I'm in the UK, we were preparing all of that during that month. So, my dad put an inverter into the house. So there is no light off that we experience. The internet has been consistent. We recently got fiber broadband, which I was so happy about. These speeds, my internet here in Ghana is faster than in the UK now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So I did a lot of that type of work before coming here. So we haven't had those types of problems, thank God, because otherwise it just wouldn't be feasible. I would not be able to continue my work, and if I'm having these sorts of, lights off here, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. Okay, we're going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about finding a good school for your children. We'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. Naomi's going to tell us, before we actually talk about the schools, some of the stories that were happening with the plumber. What happened, Naomi?
The plumber, wow. A plumber is someone you always need, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember one day, many days, the plumber came to plumb in my washing machine, brand new washing machine. He came 3 times. It couldn't work once. He would tell me, yes, madam, it's done. I'll go to turn it on, put my clothes in, thinking, yes, I can use my washing machine. Error code is coming up. It's not getting water. Oh my God. I'm not a plumber, so I don't know how difficult it is or isn't to plumb in a washing machine, but surely it can't be that complex.
If you know what you're doing.
Yeah, if you know. Then one time I'm upstairs in the office, I'm, doing my workshop online, and I'm hearing shh, and I'm the only one in the house. So I'm thinking, no, please no. So it's not stopping. So now I have to come off what I'm doing, run downstairs. There is water shooting out of the back of the washing machine. The whole utility room has now flooded.
Oh my goodness.
Sucks.
This plumber.
Oh.
And needless to say, that was the last time the plumber came to the house.
Well.
And I bet he was so confident that he can do this.
Oh, he can do it.
Okay.
He can do it, absolutely. I said, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Of course, I know. But 3 times, and then the 4th time you flood my utility room.
My goodness.
My thing, if you can't do it, say you can't do it. It's okay, and I will find someone else who can.
Yeah.
But no, they will never say they can't. Never say.
You know what I find is that they actually truly do want to help.
Yes.
But they don't know that they're not helping. They're making it worse. They're actually not helping you in any shape or form. So to the plumbers out there, please, we beg you. If you don't know how to do it, don't come and disturb us.
And the thing is, we weren't connected to Ghana Water then. We had to fill up the poly tank.
Oh,
so within
the water was gone.
Finished. I have just filled this thing up. 2 days, empty.
So I understand when you talk about the stress. I understand when you talk about being burnt out. No, because you're like, you won't face those type of challenges when you're in the UK or in the outside, because you'll get credible people that will be able to come and fix that, and then you're concentrating on your work.
And if not, there are consequences.
Yes. But here you can't do any consequences.
There's nothing you can do.
Literally. And no, they're gone. That's it. And they'll go to somebody else's house.
Oh yeah. They'll beg.
Yes.
If you try anything.
I know.
They will beg.
They will. Okay, so finding schools for your children. How was that for you, Naomi? And then I'll go to Petra.
So before coming here, I knew where I wanted to send the children.
Okay.
But from where my father's house is to where the school is was a bit of a distance.
Okay.
And I didn't really want to stay at my grandfather's house either. So I decided that it might be a bit too much. Let me try and find somewhere closer. Okay. And so I did looked in the area. I went and visited some schools, spoke with different head teachers. And then there was one school in particular I thought, oh wow, this is going to be perfect. They're using the British curriculum, and it's very similar to the school that my children attended in the UK. I thought this is perfect. But my children just did not enjoy the experience, and I was so sad for them, because in terms of the academics, It was brilliant. I had no complaints, no questions, but there were certain things that I guess my ethos and approach to education, and it just wasn't a good match. It wasn't the right school for them. And so in the mornings, my daughter would be crying. She doesn't want to go.
Aww.
And as a mother, your heart breaks when your child or your children are not happy. And so it was a struggle. They didn't last very long, probably maybe 6 weeks. And then I had to I found somewhere else for them where I wanted them to go to originally.
Okay.
It was further, they have to wake up earlier, but my daughter said, Mummy, I would wake up at 4 a.m. to go to that school.
Oh, wow.
So they're happy. So now, if I come to school too early to pick them up, it's drama. They're like, no. You're too early. Why? It's too early. Let us stay an extra hour after school to play.
Oh, wow.
So they are happy now.
Oh,
That's great.
you wanted to make sure that your children are in a good education and good school because you didn't want them to feel as if they've come to Ghana or Africa. And so can you repeat that, what you mentioned?
My thing is, children spend so much of their life in education at school. It becomes a major part of their life. And so I figured if my children are not happy at school, they will easily, in their mind, translate their displeasure and their dissatisfaction with school to dissatisfaction in Ghana. I didn't want my children to grow up hating Ghana. They were hating school, and I didn't want that to transfer across. And so this is why I felt that, something, the most important thing right now isn't finding an environment that has the highest level of education. That can come. But what is important is that they're in an environment where they are happy and they can love school, and therefore they love life. And that means that they love Ghana as well.
I love that ethos. I felt that was really, really important to put out there, because you want your children to love Ghana as well as love, the schools that they're attending. And that was something that for me as well, finding a school in Ghana for my children was a bit difficult because I wanted to make sure that they are happy. Because sometimes when you speak to my daughter, she's like, somebody asks her, how are you enjoying Ghana? That is she does this face, and I'm like, Aria, why? She's like, and then they'll be like, oh, do you miss school in the UK? Yes.
So honest.
They are very honest. But now I think she is, it's a transition for them as well, right? But luckily you had all yours here, so madam, we'll talk about that one. So getting the right schools is so important. I know it's really, really important, but you found one, then you will be able to find one eventually.
Yes, absolutely. And I think even beyond that, and I guess this is what I think the benefit of people from the diaspora coming back home, creating options, creating choice. So my mum in the UK is a multi-award winning head teacher. And of course, so I'm involved very heavily with what happens in the school over there. And so for years, people have been asking my mum to come to Ghana to open a school. And she's always said, oh, okay, maybe, but with no real interest in making it happen. But now her grandchildren are here, and they've been on the phone crying to grandma about their experiences. Now it's like it's a done deal. So our next big project is that we are going to open a sister school to her school in the UK.
And what's the school
here in Ghana?
Do you want to mention the school's name?
Yeah, sure. So she runs the Eden School in West London, in Ealing, and it's an independent faith school. And we're going to be bringing the same thing right here, focusing on the creative arts and teaching local languages, because I think it's shocking. I think it's shocking that our children are in school here and they're being made to learn French and other languages, but the local languages aren't mandatory.
It's true.
It blew my mind.
It's true.
Because at my mum's school, they are teaching local Ghanaian languages.
Are they?
Wow, yes, they are. Also the I'm not going to embarrass myself, but the Yoruba. My mum's very big on the culture.
Fantastic.
And so I think it's a must that we do this here. Otherwise it dies.
Please, when are you coming? You have 4 children already. Because this is what we need. Honestly, you're right. They're learning French, Spanish. I mean, my children go to and it's like, why?
What? And again, this is nothing against those languages, because it's great to have them. But what about our own? What are we, by neglecting and omitting, what are we really teaching our children? When we're teaching our children about the Alps, about Henry VIII, about all these other and we are not teaching them about
Santois.
what are we saying? What are we saying? And this is something that we want to address.
you know.
Exactly.
You're so right.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point. How was it for you? I know you'd
It
already
was nice
had
and
your,
easy.
It was easy.
No, my sister's kids went to the school.
Okay.
So they kind of started, it's really homey. It feels like a second home. And so taking my kids there, we lived in the same area anyway. So taking them there, it was a no-brainer. So having my kids in there, so far so good. My kids love it, just like your daughter saying, like, pick me up. She'll be like, Mommy, we close at 4, but can you pick me at 4:18? I'm like, okay.
4:18, you know. Why 18?
I don't know. She loves it.
How old are your kids?
So I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh,
3-year-old just likes to play.
Yours is 7 and 9?
Yeah, my daughter's 9, going to be 10 this year. My son is 7, 8 this year.
8 this year. Okay, so I'm going to read something out. There's, I posted out a video on my YouTube channel, one of the Diasporan Conversation. And this is what somebody said, okay? So, interesting video as always. They certainly made a bold step. This is the fish and chips people that came down. Okay, most people have a simplistic view and think all this Western takeaway in GH is great. Only question is, with all the diaspora imposing unhealthy Western food into Ghana, what will the impact be? Part of the NHS long-term plan is to tackle obesity. Would it have been better to consider healthier Ghanaian traditional food? It's nice when diasporans return with ideas to help support the country, like mentoring, empowerment, or tackling youth unemployment. The guy said he visited Ghana for the first time as a big adult, but first thing he thinks of is how to make money from the country. It seems some people on this so-called journey of return don't always seem to have the right intentions for reconnecting with their roots for the right reason.
Wow.
What are your thoughts to that?
I disagree. I don't think it's very fair. Okay, he wants to make money, but so what? And in terms of the obesity aspect, everything is an option. You're making the choice. I believe in moderation. I said I'm a foodie, and it does not mean that I'm going to eat. If, like, living in Canada, I was not eating McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Do I love McDonald's? Yes. Do I make the choice to not eat McDonald's every day? Yes. I think it is all about moderation, and it's okay to have a place that sells amazing fish and chips for when I want fish and chips. It's a great place. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think it's.
Naomi.
So you tackled the health side of things. I want to tackle the business side of things. I don't know anyone who is able to live in this society without money. If anyone does have a way, please let me know, because I will stop everything that I'm doing and do that instead. So I would not knock a person who is attempting to build a business and make money in a legal way. Yep. I would never ever do that. And who knows? Again, I don't know the full backstory of the couple. I do know that I want to go down to Osu and try for myself. That much I do know. But you know, who knows the opportunities that are being created when business is coming into the country. There could be ways to tackle the unemployment. Exactly. It could be transferring new skills to people who didn't have the same skills that may be required in order to run a fish and chip shop business here in Ghana. And so what I think I've found is that sometimes people on YouTube may have the best intentions, but it's so easy to sit at home behind a keyboard or on a phone and throw shade and judge and you know, make these imposing on the, I can't even remember the full sentence, but some of the language that we use can be really, really inflammatory when people are just trying to make an honest living. And I just think it doesn't cost anything to be kind. Exactly. Of course, it's fair to question the impacts of you know, certain businesses coming into Ghana, but again, like you said, it's about that moderation and understanding that there is still choice. Yeah. We need to have options.
Absolutely. There's Burger King here.
Burger King is here. KFC is here. KFC is here. Domino's is here. But I don't see the same sort of energy.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but I don't see it.
So a second person responded to the first person's comment. Sharita Ejay, big up yourself. Yes? Okay. She said, hell yeah. Why should he not make money off his roots? So you will prefer he relocates and does nothing? In any case, how about the Chinese, the Italians, the Indians, and other foreigners making money in the country? Massa, be happy for them, don't hate.
Thank you.
Deserves a round of applause.
She does.
And then Sherry comes in as well and comments, replying to the first one who was negative, and says, Mami, your comment is mean-spirited and unnecessary. If this is your takeaway, you really looked at this video just to criticize them. You didn't hear anything they said. They are helping the economy by providing jobs. How many jobs have you provided to people? And so, you know, I really wanted us to talk about this, because sometimes us diasporans coming in, people have an opinion about what we should be doing, and clearly someone thinks that we shouldn't be making money here.
But how else would you survive? Wherever you were living, you were making money. You can't just show up here and magically live.
Or live on savings. How long will your savings last?
You, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that we all need to kind of learn how to live with each other. And also, I think sometimes us diasporans may appear as if we know better or we are better. So I think we also need to be able to adjust on that. But before we go, what would your advice be to local Ghanaians who are experiencing us diasporans for the first time? Okay, what advice would you give them in terms of how receptive they should be towards us, or how they should see us as diasporans?
Oh, that's a really powerful question, actually. I was sharing with you earlier that when I see people who have been in Ghana all their life, I look at them and I think, you could be me. In fact, you and I are exactly the same. The only thing that is different is that my grandfather took his children out of Ghana and we had different opportunities. That's it. And so I make a conscious effort to ensure that when I'm interacting with these people, that we're treating them with respect, and will teach my children to do exactly the same, because we are one and the same. We just had different experiences and opportunities. And so I guess my advice would be that I'm not going to speak for every single person. No one can do that. Of course, there are going to be some nasty people on the planet. There are going to be some nasty people from the diaspora, just as there are going to be some nasty people who have lived here all their life. And so, of course, we have to use our better judgment. But there may be some people who are coming into town or who've even been here all their life that you can learn something from. I believe it is important to take every opportunity you can to learn something from everyone you come into contact with, because we've all walked slightly different paths. We've all done different things and had different experiences, and there is value to be gained on each side. And so I guess really it would be to give us a chance. Not everyone is out here to destroy. Not everyone is out here to cause harm. But there are some people, I dare to say, including myself, who are here to bring some of that value that I have for however many years invested in the UK into my own people, and to give them an opportunity so that there isn't this desire or this rush to leave. Everyone that I speak to here wants to leave. And I'm just thinking, if everyone leaves, that adds to the brain drain. What does that do for the development here? And so one of the things that I definitely want to do is, with my business in the UK, bring it right here. Awesome. The training that I was offering these large corporates, to bring it to my own people, give them an opportunity to be able to make more money, to improve their standard of living. And this is not a case of I know better. No, no, no. This is a case of I've just had a different opportunity. And if I can bring that back and help to empower my own people as they empower me, because Denta, let me tell you, I have learned a lot from just being here and sitting and speaking with these people, then I think it's mutually beneficial. So we should all just maybe let go some of our pride and the ego, and be open, because we are one and the same.
Absolutely, love that.
I
Love
agree
that.
with
Thank you.
that. That is
was
amazing.
That was now you're just
amazing.
like, yay, what do I
No,
say?
I don't have anything to add to that. That sums it up. No, honestly, I think it's just a learning opportunity for either party.
Yeah.
So just like she said, I think it's great just to learn from each other.
Yeah.
It really is it.
Okay. What do you want your children to learn about Ghana? How do you want the effect of living here have on them and their generation?
Should I go first? I don't know.
You go first. You go first.
I think for me, I want them to know Ghana as home. And that's just it. Yes, they're Canadian, but I want Ghana to be home. I want them, like one thing we try to do a lot of, we don't speak English at home.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like that's the rule. After school, my son one time was speaking English in the car, and I'm like, Nana Kuju, I was like, no, yen can't brofu of here. He's like, Mommy, but we are in the car. Like,
Smart boy.
so we really try to not speak any English at home. I want them to learn. We both speak Tree, my husband and I. So we speak Tree with them. I want Ghana to be home for them, no matter where they end up. I mean, I'm not going to force my children to stay in Ghana, but no matter where they end up, I want Ghana to be home for them.
That's beautiful. Now you're just like, what
You know, Denta, when I was growing up in the UK, it was not cool to be African.
No.
And I was always in a weird place because I'm half Ghanaian, half Grenadian. And so I could never really get it when the Caribbeans were cussing and insulting the Africans. And it always put me in an awkward position.
I was Jamaican. I don't know about you, but I was Jamaican.
Oh, man.
And so I think, I'm pleased to see that things are changing.
Yeah.
However, I want my children to have a sense of pride. So yes, they need to know that they have options.
Yeah.
They could choose to be in Grenada, Ghana, the UK, or anywhere else in between. But I want them to have a sense of pride and to be able to hold their head up high when they use their Ghanaian names. I have 2 Tuesday babies, Abna, Kwabna, to be able to have a sense of pride in who they are, where they come from. And again, it's about that immersion into their culture. I'm so jealous. I want my children to learn the language. I want to learn it properly as well. And so for me, that's the biggest thing. It's about that sense of self, knowing that where I come from, knowing their history, and knowing that when they see a black president, for example, that they think, oh wow, the person who holds the highest office in this land looks just like me. And so therefore one day, that means that I could aspire to even higher heights as a result. And so that's really what it's all about for me. I want my children to have that sense of pride in being Ghanaian. So that's the main thing for me.
Charlie, like I'm blown away by these 2 amazing women. I hope that they have inspired you, because definitely they have inspired me today. We need to be one. We are one, in fact. And so, you know, again, for me, I'm encouraging all diasporans to come. You know, we do need your skills. We do need you back for us to be able to impact on the economy and impact on the people that live in Ghana. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget your history. It's important for us to know our history. And don't forget that we are African. And that's, you know, that's a big part. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Did you enjoy yourself?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
It didn't feel
us.
like an interview, did it?
No, at all.
Like a conversation.
I was nervous about that. I was like, ooh, what if they just throw questions? And I'm like, what to say?
I know,
what
somebody,
to say?
was it you, Naomi, that emailed about questions? No, I think it was another guest. So like,
You know, I thought about that last night.
Really?
Like, is it too late to ask?
I don't send out questions.
I think it's a good tactic.
Yeah, I
because
think it's great.
You won't get the same reaction. That's
It
why
would
I didn't
be
even read the
so
second thing,
rehearsed.
even when we're on cut, because I won't get the same reaction that I need. But I'm sure the audience have enjoyed the show. I'm going to put all their social media. You can follow them on the description, so make sure that you do that. If you haven't Already joined the Diaspora Transition Network, please make sure that you join. We're building a skills database. We're making sure that each and every diasporan who comes in is supported, whether it's registering your business, sorting out your land issues. We are here to support you. We want to make sure that you don't leave. So anything that we can do to support you, we will. So make sure that you subscribe and join the Diaspora Transition Network. I hope you've enjoyed the show. God bless you all and see you soon.